Laziness is one answer to why you don't seem to be moving forward. There are others, even more important pieces. Work on them, and you will be able to not just walk through circles, but actually take real strides forward towards your goals. As you might have noticed, we have an incredible abundance of information. It's just a few fingertips away if you ever wanted it. We get crucial, interesting ideas from all kinds of places. Not even if we try to get them, all this comes to us willingly. Presented by people that do their best for it to not only be good information, but also present it well. In the past, you would have no chance to acquire this level of depth and quantity of information. You could get lucky stumbling upon a great book under many thousands that sit on the shelves of libraries. You could get lucky and learn from parents that have certain skills and knowledge, or you get lucky and have a good teacher telling you more than just the year's materials. In the past, you had to be either very inquisitive, got a lucky encounter, or had the people close to you be above average at the minimum. Most of the time, there was a lack of information in the past, and now there's a lot of information all around you. And yet, it feels like in the past, people that got information did a lot more with it than today. This is rather interesting because it's not like all this information comes from the ether either, from some random place. It is information that exists in abundance from the most incredible people in the world. Not even just one incredible person, but you have a pick from the 1% of 1% people you would like to learn. A lot of people are writing non-fiction books about certain skills, about their own unique path, their biography, how they did it, how they thought through things, or on how to think through something in general. You have whole books, video series, seminars, and courses on all kinds of topics from how to negotiate, how to debate, how to speak well, how to write short fiction, how to write long fiction, how to write in general, how to write content that is designed to create interest and desire to buy from other people, called copywriting, then how to do sports, how to eat right. You have so much information of the newest level of research about what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, how you should run, how you should work out, and so on. There's rarely, if ever, a situation where you have a lack of information about something outside if you're lazy or if you're not willing to do something, to spend some time to get the book, to take time and read the book, and so on. So there's never a situation where you don't have enough information if you're willing to try to get it. No matter how unique the skills, you can find information in book and video form to help you learn it, like knitting and changing tires and building a computer from scratch. If you have an important task, you will find this information. Like you're a new parent and need help on how to take care of your baby, or you get a new pet and need help there. Additionally, you get such a range of different ways of looking at it because on the one hand, you get information from teachers, professors, academical sources, but then on the other hand, you also have people that succeeded and did something and then tell you about the experience, about the understanding of these issues from a practical point of view. You have these two extreme ends of a range and all kinds of people in the middle. I set this up so long to make you understand how massive this whole area is. I believe people do understand what there is out there for them to take and grow, but it is seemingly not seeping in emotionally to most people because, after all, the idea of learning a few skills, growing your character, improving as a person, if you were to truly get that it is possible and the information is easily accessible, it would change the world. It certainly would change your world. This long intro needed to be told so you can consider and truly get a grasp on the massive scope of what we are talking about, and how potentially critical the issue is that even though all of this is there, we are still not moving forward. We are not taking advantage of it all. I mean, select few are, but the majority is not. It doesn't seem to either work or connect with a lot of people, which is a shame. In fact, right now, at any given moment, at any given time, we are at the highest level of information from a variety of incredible people that ever has been. And yet, it feels like we are in a rather bad place at times, which doesn't really make sense because, for example, even if you are poor, you could still easily access the information through the internet. Just look at the interviews and conversations and courses that are free on YouTube. You can learn, for example, how to code. You can learn the basics of engineering. You can learn all kinds of things from AI and even use AI to learn from. So the access is insane that you have for very little money. Why doesn't it work? What exactly are the key problems here? The first potential answer we need to take a look at is the following. Are too many people simply lazy, and because of that, are you simply not capable of doing what you should be doing? The answer is maybe. Maybe you are lazy, like so many people are at times. Every single person had moments where they just don't feel like doing much. And with moments, I mean weeks, months, and maybe even years. This is certainly sometimes the answer, and often a piece of the puzzle. You have been lazy and did little, and over time you created habits of doing little, if anything at all. What you need to consider, however, is that while this part of the puzzle, most people see this as most of the issue, and reality is that it's often more complicated than that. There's more to the answer on why people don't act on all that is possible. The reason why this one is less worthy of focus is that on the one hand, it is much harder to tackle because it is hard to push yourself, all else being equal, but on the other hand, it is also easier once human nature works for you and you have solved your bigger issues. When I talk about bigger issues that will also help you with what looks like laziness, is this. There are mental components at work that stop you from doing what you need to do. For instance, you don't believe you can actually learn. The language you would like to learn, you would like to learn how to code, how to work through and understand AI, but in your mind, in your heart, you don't believe that it's possible for you to learn. And so you just push things off to not prove to you that you can't do it. And this is not an issue of just a habit of not wanting to do things. It is an issue of psychology, a psychology of confidence. Many things come back to confidence, which is why there's already the third video related to it. The people that don't have confidence are just suffering from all kinds of issues I've already mentioned in the last videos. And people that have confidence, even a fake sense of confidence, they will at least try and then see how it goes. Sometimes it doesn't work out, maybe more often than not, but sometimes it does, and this is enough. Sure, down the road there are problems because the fake confidence will just lead them to find out that they won't be able to do it. Maybe they think, okay, this is not for them, or the results are wrong and they are way too good for it. So this is a certain level of delusion. Then they move on. Everything has issues, including false confidence. But at least they have the foundation of doing something. At least they are not afraid to try something. This is an issue that if we can build out the confidence for the society, if most people had a little bit more confidence, then a lot of problems would disappear. With that said, confidence is part of the full picture, but I want to talk about something else also. Let's say you are 23 years old or 25 or 28 or 30 and you think about all kinds of skills and courses and paths you can take. Right now, all the doors are open for you to be a writer, for you to be a coder, for you to be an engineer, for you to go to medical school. Which the last one is a little tricky because if your grades are bad, then maybe this path is actually close to you. Then you consider copywriting, psychology, and human nature. You can day trade, you can go into the fitness world. There are many paths. The issues, first, obviously, if you go through one door, then you have to close all the others, which can be a real unpleasant situation where you don't feel like it. You don't want to remove all options for you. But then, even if you were willing to close the other doors, there's the massive overwhelm of not knowing what the right decision is. Because again, if you go through one door, you close all the others. What if there's one perfect door for you? What if there's one ideal door where you actually go through, learn, become a master, succeed, and become wealthy? The potential of a perfect door is immense. So big it can paralyze your decision-making process. Many of us had these thoughts. Let's explore them. First and foremost, what I want you to focus on is the following. A crucial answer to your dilemma. You can always switch. Either switch back or switch to something new. You can not choose a door and stand before it, but eventually you're going to be 35, 40, 50 years old and you're still at zero. If you went through a door, you would be at zero or above, assuming the door was really bad, and if you stayed, you are still at zero, but in theory, all the options are still open to you. This seems like the worst part under most circumstances. Sometimes waiting is the right choice, but let's put it aside. Generally speaking, you should eventually think through it and then choose a door. What you should always consider is you can learn from one path and then come back and change it if necessary. The doors close, yes, but that doesn't mean they are closed forever. In fact, most doors will open if you come back. Keep in mind, you can learn many things. You just can't learn many things at the same time. This is particularly powerful because, despite my example above, in reality, you never come back as a zero. You come back with important learnings, knowledge, and experience, which can even elevate the new path you're walking. If you go the path of, for example, copywriting, and you would like to become a copywriter, and then a year or 2 years in, you figure out that's not what you want, then maybe you want to become an author or even something completely else, like a negotiator. Some of the knowledge, ideas, and the experience you gathered from copywriting you can apply now to the new path. Not always, not everything, and not often directly, but it is still there and powerful. What you might wonder is how often is that true if I go a path that is different from copywriting. I can see myself using it for fiction writing or learning psychology, but what about something else? Sure, some paths are much closer connected and you can really transfer the skills you learn from one to the other. But even if you go from, let's say, copywriter to coder, even then, at some point you will be able to apply it if you're smart. When you code something, create something, eventually you need to create interest in that product, create interest in you as a coder. Then suddenly the copywriting skills will be incredibly useful. So you just can't use them one to one, but it doesn't matter. You will find ways as long as you're creative and see the bigger picture. To take away the overwhelm that you will experience, you need to understand that it doesn't have to be eternal. Your choices don't have to be eternal. You can step back and change your opinion. There's no problem. This is absolutely fine. All the experience you made will come with you, which will always be of benefit to you. Also, a lot of the thinking and overthinking won't matter much once you start. A lot of the thinking you made beforehand will not matter. What does matter will crystallize naturally before you when you walk the path. Then you can give it the attention that it deserves. I'm a huge proponent of thinking through all kinds of elements, strategically evaluating the situation, and giving yourself ample time to make decisions and understand the situation, understand the future. But at the same time, there are limits to what you can figure out through thinking only. So when you stand before the doors and don't make a decision, you will just think and delay. Sometimes it might be even faster to just go through one door and then eventually come back, instead of overthinking for many months.